I'm Will.
And I'm Tasha, and welcome back to My Better Half. We're so excited you're here.
We are now into episode 10. Today, we're going to be talking about the fireplace, specifically talking about sexual intimacy. And I know you've all been waiting for
Uh-oh.
us to be able to get into talking about physical intimacy, sexual intimacy, and the importance of us being able to really celebrate the blessing of one of the greatest gifts that we get to have in marriage. But before we do that, let's go back to last week.
Yeah, we got to check in. So I want to see how it went with you. We did a challenge for it was called the penny challenge. All
Hmm.
right. You remember that? The one
Yep.
that everybody can afford. So you were supposed to go out on these dates and you didn't know where you were going to end up and you didn't know what was going to happen. So I just want to know, how did it work out for you? How did it work out for you, babe?
So, I know the whole idea was to really get that dopamine up.
Yep.
And it was, heads was to the right, tails was to the left. And we ended up in a nice little spot after about 100 different tries. But it was cool. It was cool. It was being able to kind of really do something different, a little spontaneous, get a little dopamine up.
Do you feel like it changed how you viewed me in any kind of way or how you felt around me or
He didn't change how I viewed you, but
oh, that's good.
yeah, no, it didn't change that. Uh, honestly, what was great about it was just that we were doing it together and that we're
Yeah.
making cool memories together.
And now you didn't know where we're going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that. When you play together, you stay together. You
Yep.
remember that?
Yep.
All right. Also, when you pray together, you stay together. We're not there though. That's not the episode we're on right now.
But just to be clear, you should
this.
pray together.
Yes.
You should play together. And most importantly, our goal is that you'd stay together and that
Yes.
you'd really have a relationship that is a lot of fun.
But when you play together, it is a little bit more, it's a little easier for you to
Mhm.
want to be intimate with each other
Mhm.
because playing together in and of itself is an intimate thing. But today we are going to talk about actual intimacy.
Mhm.
You ready for this?
Yep, let's go.
Okay.
I'm always ready.
Okay. So physical intimacy.
Mhm.
He's always ready. I just caught that. All right. So
Okay.
physical intimacy is the fireplace. That's where things heat up, okay?
Sure, it is.
But a lot of times what people think is, we're that heating up starts in the bedroom, but it doesn't.
Right.
Heating up starts early in the day. It starts in the
does.
morning. It
Mhm.
starts with how you look at each other. It starts with physical touch. It starts with how you treat each other.
Mhm.
Like, it's not just what actually happens in the bedroom.
Yeah, and we talked earlier about the importance of ensuring that at least 20 times you're putting in those deposits.
Mhm.
So there's deposits of positivity, and definitely some of those are words of affirmation. I love you. Have a great day. You're beautiful. But some
Yes.
of those are also have to be augmented with physical touch. So in a powerhouse marriage, which we're all thriving for, just to be clear, we don't have that. We're working on that. We're constantly
Always working on that.
growing to try to
Yes.
be that. The fire actually starts in the kitchen,
Mhm.
early in the morning. Maybe that's 6 or 7, depending on when you wake up. And it's built through touch and presence and really having a climate of safety where you don't only focus on what the act of marriage, but you really focus on the atmosphere. So you want to create an atmosphere all throughout your day that is a
Mhm.
positive, affirming, encouraging, um, that involves both words of affirmation and physical touch.
So many times in marriages, especially when we've been married for quite a while,
Hmm.
we can get to a place where we have like a touch starvation with each other.
Hmm.
We're so used to working together. We get the kids where they need to get to. We
Hmm.
we buy the groceries. We pay the bills. We do all the things. We're partners,
Hmm.
like real partners. But you can forget that touch has to be a part of this intimacy.
Right.
Just regular old touch.
Right.
Like me touching your knee or
Right.
me touching your arm or holding hands or whatever. Like a lot of couples, that has gone by the wayside
Hmm.
and you don't even notice it because that's your partner. You love that person. But if you're not deliberate, then that physical touch is probably one of the first things to go away.
And that's true for you from the very beginning of life. So from the very beginning, the physical touch that children have or don't have
Mm-hmm.
affects their development. So that's why physical touch is such a big deal. So Tasha, talk us through a little bit of the science, because we love to share our experience.
Yeah.
We love to build on the things that we've learned from Good Enough Parenting and I Choose Us, and marriage dynamics, and so many other programs that we've been able to go through, and a ton of books that we've been able to access. But let's talk a little science. Talk to me about cortisol.
Did you know?
Yes.
Dr. Gottman, we're basing most of this off
Mhm.
of Dr. Gottman's research,
Mhm.
obviously. But his research shows that sexual physical touch, non-sexual physical touch. I just have this on my mind, don't
That's
I?
great.
All right, non-sexual physical touch,
Mhm.
like holding hands or
Mhm.
just hugging for a long time,
Yeah.
or it's the fastest way to lower your cortisol. Isn't that crazy?
Mhm.
And cortisol is your stress hormone.
Mhm.
So it actually lets you feel calmer. It lets you down easily. So it does that in your spouse. When you touch, when you're literally telling your nervous system, calm down. You're safe with me.
Right.
It's okay.
Right. And that's what a hug is designed to do. That's what
Yeah.
holding someone's hand is designed to do, is to say you're safe and to create an environment of safety. Now, in the Gottman Love Labs, he also talks a little bit about the 6-second kiss, which is the minimum effective dose. So you can't have a 5-second kiss, a 4-second kiss, a 3-second kiss. That just says, hey, but if you want the right dose, you want to have at least a 6-second kiss, and that creates physiological connection. Anything less is just a greeting, but 6 seconds is an event. It releases enough oxytocin to create a bonding response that can last for hours. So when you're heading out the door, no 4-second kiss, no quick peck, 6 seconds.
6 seconds.
Okay. When you come in, 6 seconds. At different times of the day, that you're able to interact with each other. If you're able to interact during the day, you want to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-second kiss. That's really important to make sure that you have that good bonding. So that's a little bit of science for you there. I feel like you need a demonstration.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I feel like you need a demonstration.
So this one we have been practicing, true confession, all the time.
Sure.
The truth is, it's really like, okay, at first we were like, 6 seconds, that's ridiculous. Like, that's a really long time.
Stalling? Here, I'll kiss your hand.
Stalling.
No, you're embarrassed. You're embarrassed with them to see you kiss them on the street.
What
It's
are we
totally
doing?
fine. I'll just kiss
What
your
are we
hand.
doing?
I'll just kiss your hand. You're good.
For 6
Ready?
seconds?
Ready? Okay, here we go.
Okay.
See how that was? Look at that. Look at that face.
Awkward to
Look
watch.
at that. You see that face? Look at that face. Look at that face.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I want you to stop doing the 4-second kiss or the 3-second kiss.
I think most people do a 1-second kiss.
6.
Okay, I don't think
6
it's
seconds.
3 seconds.
It's
a
science.
peck.
You're gonna for the rest of the day. I kissed her on the hand.
Yes.
She's gonna think about that for the rest of the day.
Okay.
And it's
The
gonna
first
create
time
a
we
bond.
tried it, he kissed me on the cheek, and I'm telling you, it felt different. It
Mhm.
felt very different. I
Yeah.
felt connected. He felt connected. 6 seconds on the cheek. Nothing. This is non-sexual, people. This is nothing sexual about this.
Totally fine for it to be sexual,
But it's helpful for later.
But just to be clear, the goal is connection. See,
Yes.
Here's the thing that I think you got to understand: you're building a relationship for a lifetime, not just for a short time, but for a lifetime. It's not an episode; it's an epic adventure that you want to be on. So you want to put those deposits in all the time.
Yep. And if you're going to kiss somebody for 6 seconds,
Mhm.
it's deliberate.
Mhm.
It's a decision.
Yep.
It's got to be something you do on purpose.
Yep.
All right. So, Will, there's a big difference between you pursuing me physically and me feeling pressured by you,
Mhm.
which, amen, that's not happening.
Mhm.
But how have you learned to read my temperature over 26 years so that the fire stays warm and doesn't become like a chore?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think early in the relationship, just to be clear, when she said that's not happening, Tasha's just not somebody you're going to pressure to do anything.
No, it's not going to happen.
It's just not going to happen. So you're either going to do it right or it's just not going to work out.
Right.
It's just kind of what it is. So I think, have I learned to gauge your temperature? I've learned to ask you lots of questions. Quite frankly, you are always changing, which is such an adventure. and sometimes really challenging.
Yeah. I mean, I
Um,
surprised myself, so I understand.
yeah, I know. So I learned to ask lots of questions
Yeah.
and kind of gauge, keep up with kind of the changing map, the
Okay.
changing terrain. I think that's what I've learned. Um, and and in terms of like pursuing you physically, I've learned that this stuff is real. Like really and truly, it's about the daily consistent deposits. That stuff really actually is a real thing.
Okay. So one more
God is right.
question.
His
One more
research
question.
works. Hmm.
So when you're stressed or you're just having a rough day,
Sure.
um, is it helpful for me to just touch you? Like if I put my hand on your shoulder or if I give you a hug or 6 seconds hugs, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I
What's
mean,
helpful for you?
yeah, that definitely is helpful. I mean, sometimes like if I'm in the middle of something, like like in the middle of feeling something that's really intense, it sometimes is helpful for me just to go for a walk, go for a run,
Mm-hmm.
like kind of get out of my own space,
Mm-hmm.
and get into my own kind of get out of my own head, if you will. But the physical connection from you is a real thing. That's good. That's important, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen you literally just calm down
Yeah.
and melt in that moment.
Yeah.
I've seen it
Maybe not milk.
melt
No.
in that moment. It's okay.
Maybe not that.
It's fine. You don't have to admit it.
So, all right. So, real talk here. So,
Yes.
you said that before. You can't be physically intimate unless you feel emotionally safe.
Yeah.
Um, how does our work kind of walking through all the things we talked about, like in episode 4 through 7, dealing with contempt and criticism, directly affect kind of our physical closeness? How does doing the emotional hard work actually help us to get to a place where we can have a good relational intimacy
Yeah. I mean, if we don't do
and
the
physical
emotional
intimacy? Yeah,
hard work,
right.
then I don't want to do anything physically.
Sure, sure,
Period.
sure,
That's how that works.
sure,
So we have to do the work to connect on an emotional level. We have to do the work to have the conversations. Like we can't leave things unresolved.
sure. And here's the thing, you might be saying to yourself, all right, I hear you. Then I don't want to be with someone that I have to do all that work. I just want to have, you know, an episodic relationship. Um, the truth is, that seems like it would be satisfying, but it's not. Every human being is this way.
Mhm.
Any relationship that's worth having requires work. And doing the work to work through stuff in your relationship is really key, to kind of how you move going forward.
Mhm.
Now,
Mhm.
in the busy years of raising our kids, um, did you ever feel touched out by the kids? Where you just like, everybody's hugged me, everybody's touched me, I've just had too much. And how did you kind of navigate, for yourself, kind of our intimacy given all the work with the kids? Did you ever feel like I've had too many hugs? Y'all leave me alone.
Nah,
Okay.
not me.
You're not that person.
No.
No. Cannot. Yeah, yeah.
I'm craving, even though the kids can drive you crazy, I'm craving hugs from you no matter what. Like
Okay.
they're not gonna tap me out.
Okay. All right.
They actually make me want more physical intimacy.
Okay.
The more tired they make me want more physical intimacy from you
Okay.
because you're the place that I let down.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. It's counterintuitive, but it makes sense.
Mhm.
All right. So talk to us about how the kind of the spiritual grounding of how we can really move forward.
Spiritual grounding. All right. So I love this scripture.
Hmm.
It's in 1 Corinthians 7:5.
Hmm.
And it says, do not deprive each other except perhaps by mutual consent
Hmm.
and for a time so that you may devote yourselves to prayer. Then come together again so that Satan will not tempt you.
Hmm.
That's the problem. We're unaware that Satan is always there to tempt us.
Yeah. And Satan tempts you when you are deprived.
Mm-hmm.
See, this a big part of what you want to do is you want to constantly be filling the cup
Yep.
and meeting your spouse's emotional needs, so that spiritual intimacy can be a protective wedge, a protective shield against so many of the things that are out there. What I've found is, as our relationship is tight and our intimacy, our sexual intimacy, our physical intimacy, our emotional intimacy is tight.
Our non-physical,
Our
well, our
not
non-sexual
all
intimacy.
the
Yeah,
intimacy.
all of those things.
The
Yeah.
more the better bonded we are, the better equipped I am when I go out into the world
Yep.
for anything that I've got to do.
Here's how God here's how God pictured it. And Song of Solomon 1:2. This is how you're supposed to feel about your person.
Mhm.
Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for your love is more delightful than wine.
Mhm.
Assuming you like wine, you know,
Mhm. Mhm.
maybe yours is Kool-Aid. I don't know.
Mhm.
But whatever it is, it's more delightful than whatever else is one of your favorite things,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know? And that's how I feel.
Yeah,
That's how God always intended for you to feel about your spouse's kisses.
absolutely. So every time we do this, we're into episode 10. We give you a minute challenge, a
Mm-hmm.
minute for your marriage challenge. And so, Tasha,
Minute.
we previewed it earlier on,
Yes.
and now here's the challenge. The challenge for this week is
Okay. Da, 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 da. All right, we're gonna do the 6-second kiss. This is called the 6-second connection. All right, so you're gonna reset your nervous system through touch.
yep.
And every time you
Here we
reunite
go. Here we
after
go.
a long day,
Okay.
or or in the mornings before you leave each other, you give each other a 6-second kiss.
All
All
right.
right.
So, sweet.
Really? We're really doing this?
Yeah, I'll kiss
Okay.
your hand again.
Oh, you can
I
kiss
know.
me on the cheek. It's
Cheek
okay.
to cheek. Here we go.
Thank you.
There you go. 6 seconds. So this
Done.
week, all you want to do every time, every chance you get, before you leave the house, 6 seconds, count it out. You come home, 6 seconds, count it out.
Yep.
That kind of connection actually connects with you on a physical, an emotional, and a psychological level. Now, it's been 10 episodes, and we want to make sure that you remember where we came from and where we're going. So, in our very first episode, we talked about the 70% of all marriages are based on having a quality friendship.
Mm-hmm.
On episode 2, we talked about the vortex. Your spouse is not your enemy. And we really started to tackle the toxic cycle of conflict.
Mm-hmm.
In episode 3 and 4, we did the startup where we dealt with, the gentle startup of complaining without
Mhm.
blaming. We
Mhm.
talked about contempt, defensiveness, distraction, your inner worlds, really learning your maps and seeing and learning where you come from.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've been leaning into talking about the drip, using novelty and adventure to keep that dopamine alive. And right now, on this episode, we talked about the fireplace. We're going to cap out where we're going
Mm-hmm.
by moving into talking about your spiritual intimacy. And we're looking forward to continuing the conversation with you. We hope you join us next week. We encourage you to like and subscribe what we're doing here and share it with friends if it's helpful for your marriage, for your relationship, or for someone else.
See you soon.
Much love.